Okay, we are live. Hello, hello, everybody, everyone. Welcome to this impromptu stream. I have Miss Kenyatta here with me, my fellow
Well,
reader, and she's going to introduce herself. Well, let me do a couple announcements first because I forgot I have some
okay.
things because I didn't go live last week. Those of you who are members, you would have already gotten your month of April readings emailed from me. And if you want to sign up for the community prosperity ritual, you have until the 18th of April to sign up for that. The link is in the community tab. And members, you also got a direct link to your email sent to you for that as well. So, Miss Kenyatta, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended
Hello.
up in this line of work.
All right. My my first name is Nikki Kenyatta, Nikki-Kenyatta. So that's me. A little bit about myself. Well, currently I am a, substitute teacher. I'm a permanent building sub. I've been substitute teaching probably for about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Used to work with the agency, so I would go to a whole bunch of different buildings, whole bunch of different districts. But for the last couple years, I've been a permanent sub, within one solid district. I still work with the
Okay.
agency though. So, days
Okay.
off. Some schools have days off that others don't, blah, blah, blah. I used to, I guess teaching is just my line of work because I used to be a college professor, community college here. And
Nice.
I got into this because years ago, I didn't read tarot. Um, But it was just, I don't even remember how it started. I used to go to tarot readers a lot, probably I think the
Okay.
first one I went to, I probably was about 19 or 20 years old. They used to call them, well, how people call them gypsy readers. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you can run into some trouble with them sometimes, because
Yes.
they'll find all reasons to tell you that you need to come back and spend a whole lot of money. But
Yes.
one time I went to a reader here in the area that I live in, and she just started reading, no cards or anything. So I asked her, I said, "Well, where are your cards?" And she said, "Oh no," you know. She
Mm.
just said, "Oh no," I said, "You don't need any cards," because I had never been to a reader that didn't use anything, any tool. And she said, "No, not at all," And I said, "Oh, this is interesting," but she was on point.
Yeah.
So I decided to try that myself, to see if I could read with, because I still wasn't reading tarot. See
Okay.
if I could read without the use of cards. I didn't know about other tools. The only tool I knew about was a pendulum. I had a pendulum.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and uh, just would do it with a few people here and there, and it just seemed to be on point. Well, the more that then I started reading tarot when I got on YouTube. This is my second channel. I had a channel before this, same title. Let's get into it. Same,
Okay. Okay.
that it didn't start off with that name. I think I first called it just my Kenyatta, and then I had been initiated as a Kemetic priestess, and my name was Neferkare. So I called it Kenyatta Neferkare. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Numika, I have that as well. That was a spiritual name that sister of mine shared with me and gave me. But anyway, and eventually I changed it to "Let's get into it." Why? Because every time people would go to read, when they would start, they would say, "Okay, let's get into it." You know what I'm saying? And I found myself saying the same thing, and then it just
I
kind of hit me
like
one day. Hit me one day. Intuitive, INTUIT. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? So then
You
that's
know
what I
what it made
started
me think
calling
of? It made me think of the TurboTax commercial because the Intuit TurboTax.
it. Funny thing is, you know what? Not initially, but somebody brought that to my attention one time, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Huh?" You know what I'm saying? And I had seen the commercial, but I didn't make that connection. I was just thinking, you understand what I'm
Intuitive.
saying?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
right.
I like you. I like your interpretation better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, my phone, I have it charged just in case something happened. I have it charging. It's slow charging. I got it plugged up. If it acts up and I disappear, I'll be right back. But hopefully
Okay.
it won't.
That
Okay,
that is
just
fine.
so you know. So eventually, so once I wanted to read tarot. There was a sister on here. She still had a channel that I was talking to. She had a meditation group. I was talking to her, and she encouraged. She encouraged. I told her, I said, I want to read tarot. I'd love to have a YouTube channel reading tarot. I didn't know people
Yeah.
did that. As much as I was on YouTube, I never saw. Right. Okay. And I'm like, how
Same.
did I never see this?
Same.
Oh, okay. Right. I never saw.
Yeah, it
You
was
know
it
how
was
they.
the same. I thought about it and I was like, let
Uh-huh.
me see if people are doing it, how are they doing a reading? And I just started searching through the YouTube, and I saw
Okay.
most of the time they did it either divine feminine, divine masculine, or they did it
Okay.
by zodiac sign.
Right. Okay. I
Because
had
that
no
was
clue. I mean,
confusing me. It's like, well, who am I reading for?
who am I
If
reading for? That was another thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
before I met her, as much as I was on YouTube, I used to be on YouTube all the time. I never once had seen, any readings on YouTube. So,
Mhm.
young lady that I know here, she just happened to send me by messenger a reading on YouTube. I forgot her name, but I don't think she doesn't have a channel anymore.
Oh,
But
okay.
I thought it was only her because, again, I had never seen it. So I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
wow, this is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Just so happened when I watched it, a lot of what she was saying was resonating with me. Okay. So I kept
Good.
looking at her channel. Well, eventually, because I kept pulling her channel up, looking at it, then here come the floodgates open, and I saw all of these. I was like, what?
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So I met this sister and I was in a meditation group and I was telling her I wanted to read tarot. I was fascinated by tarot, but it just looked like it was so much. I'm like, how do I remember all of the meanings of the cards and blah, blah, blah?
It's a
It seemed
lot.
too complex. Like, ask me a question, I give you an answer. I could do that. You understand what I'm saying? But I was
Yeah.
like, well, how do you do that
Yeah.
on YouTube? Because at that point, all I was seeing was tarot card readers.
Mhm.
Well, she encouraged me. She said, sister, we can't be afraid. It was just something about the way she said that to me that kind of
Don't be
pushed me. So
afraid.
I went and got some tarot cards, and I got a tarot Bible, which sometimes I'll still look at when I'm doing readings, if because I feel like even though I guess my first channel was 2019. So,
Okay.
I still feel like you're still learning, forever
Right.
learning. And so many different decks but I had got a, Rider Waite, kind of a traditional deck to start off with.
Mhm.
And I started my channel. And boy, I tell you, it being on YouTube as a reader, I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, right punch, left punch, get back up, dust it off your shoulder, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of dust in your shoulders off.
Right, and keep on going. But I um I learned so much. Oh my God. I learned so much just from watching readers. It's like it opened another aspect within,
Right.
even if it wasn't things that readers said in particularly or anything like that, it just kind of opened that eye, I guess, even more, and
Mhm.
I realized so all the clairs and all that, I did somebody had shared that with me long before I got on YouTube, but I was just like, I knew I was able to do things and see things to kind of know things or whatever, but I didn't know they had uh,
Had names.
these titles to them, the right names
Mhm.
to them,
Yep.
and I at that time I kind of cautioned myself again, to reading about it because I didn't want to put myself in any kind of box. You understand what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
always
I
feel that
understand.
just because I don't take away anything from reading, and learning. But at the same time, it's like, well, somebody wrote that, and I'm a somebody too. You're a somebody too. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when
Right.
it came to those kind of gifts, the spiritual gifts, and I didn't even put a title spiritual gifts to them. It's just I'm just living like when I was younger. I would just know stuff. I just know, And I remember a couple times saying things to people, and they would be like, "How do you know that?" And I'm thinking,
Yep.
"Well, don't you know? How don't you know? Can't you
Right,
see
don't
that?"
you know?
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And it's taken me years, Lex. And when I say years, I mean up to maybe this year. to come
Really?
to a realization that no, you gotta. It was difficult. Lady raised me used to talk to me about it. You think everybody thinks like you or sees things like you, and I say that a lot
Hmm.
in my readings that not everybody. People tend to think that people have the same worldview that they do,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
they don't. And so it took me a long time, like I said, even up to this year, to come to the realization, no, 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 everyone does not see,
Everyone's
you know, especially when you have these, I feel like everybody is intuitive. You can call it psychic, you can call it intuitive, you can call it discernment, perception,
hmm
whatever, but I do feel like in our culture, of course, that's kind of taken away. We're made to question, our internal
Absolutely.
knowing. But I
Absolutely.
do feel like maybe like readers and whatnot, maybe they tap into it more, or maybe, maybe they believe in it more to, and which allows them to tap into more. I don't know. Not everybody's going to be the shaman. Not everybody's going to be the spiritual guru, or you get what I'm saying,
hmm
regardless of how much
hmm
intuition, you know, everyone
Absolutely.
has. And so being on YouTube, and I began to, I said, oh, is that what I am? Is psychic? You understand what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
like,
I hate the term psychic.
tell me why do you hate it?
I hate the term psychic because, like, for me, and
Hmm.
I don't even know if I read this somewhere, but just like you said, we all have a perception or understanding of what something is. And for me, like, psychics is like read minds, so to speak.
Okay.
Like, at least the ones that I went to who considered themselves to
Uh,
be psychic, they basically tell me what I already know, and that proves that
okay.
you do know something. But most people are
Right.
looking for that future
Right.
answer. What should I
Right.
do? How do I get there? And
Right.
again, don't want to put myself in that box, but with the gift, I have to go on
Mhm.
quote unquote psychic networks and platforms in order to get business, because
Exactly.
don't nobody know what
Exactly.
the hell an intuitive reader is. They're just they're not going to look for that. They're going to look for a psychic.
Right. Right. And even, for me, when I said that, I was like, well, I didn't like the way it felt. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Saying I'm psychic, because
Yeah, I don't like it
in so
either.
many terms and so many definitions, I'm like, I want to just
hmm
say, I just know. I just know. Just ask me and I can tell you, to the best of my
Yeah,
ability. You understand what I'm saying?
that's it.
So
That's it.
and I said, well, but like you said, you got to put some kind of time. I've done some psychic fairs, and like you said, being on the app and everything, and you got to say, what do you do? Okay, here we go. You understand what I'm
Yep.
saying? And a lot of
Yep.
times people come in, some people don't even know, what I'm saying, what it means. Look, I got some questions. Like you said, what's gonna happen? Can you, you know what I mean? But
hmm
so with tarot, I've learned tarot basically just from YouTube, mainly from doing it. I got
Yeah.
that my tarot Bible. It's over here somewhere. Oh, here it is.
Uh-huh.
The tarot Bible.
There you go,
And
girl. I started out with which one did I start? I started out with the gilded one because I like the bold colors. Because I was mostly like a
oh
visual person. I like the pictures. So that
yeah.
one was bold and bright enough for me. And it actually did come with the book. So I started out
Okay.
on YouTube, and I started out with the
Okay.
book, working with the cards, and I started just trying. And I teach a tarot class, and how I typically teach is whatever that person can do automatically. Like, some people, they have a feeling about it.
Okay.
Some people can
Yes.
look at it like I do, and they can kind of guess what it
Right.
means. And so I started out with the pictures first before even cracking the book open, just
Okay.
looking at them.
Okay.
And that helped a lot to kind of
Right.
be able to, depending on the questions, different little things in the
Hmm.
pictures I could see. Like, there's one card, it's not on the gilded one, it's on like one of these whimsical decks that I bought, but it has like dragons and mermaids and stuff on it. But it had some dragons, and I never paid attention to, it was a four of wands,
Mm.
and in the middle of the four dragon staffs was like this little
Hmm.
orb, and it looked like it was a little dragon baby inside the little orb.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's just
Okay.
little things, like, just to give you
Right.
an
That you
example,
pick
like
up
how you
on.
that you pick up on as the reading
Right.
goes, and depending on who the person is and what the question is, it'll just come to you.
Right. Right. And I'm the
Um,
same way. It's like,
mhm,
even like you said, teaching a tarot class. Well, what I had a couple people, like I said, we would play the psychic thing with one each other. I got a question or what. And there were two people kind of quote unquote taught them how to do it. It's like, and I can't tell you, it's just like I could hear, just talking to a person, just regular conversation. I can hear whether you are or not. You understand what I'm saying? One girl, she said,
mhm.
"Well, Nikki, I don't know how to do that." And I was like, "You already do it. When we talk, like they say, you just be knowing, but you don't realize. You just be. I can tell
Second
from our
guessing yourself.
conversation,
Mhm.
you just know. So I would just kind of pull it out of them, you know what I'm saying? And just um
Mhm.
you just trust, now, how that goes with the trust, thing, because it's kind of like, because I'm the type, like, if I'm reading for you,
Like, come
and
on
we're,
now.
we're talking to one another, does this resonate? You know what I mean? I don't
Mhm.
mind it. Don't lie to me now just because you want me to
Mhm.
feel okay. No, then that helps me. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And
Mhm.
now, like what you said about the pictures too. I when I first started, I got that, my Rider Waite deck, right?
Okay.
Then I went and bought a couple more texts, and I was like, "What the hell? I can't do nothing." I was like, "I can't do nothing with this," because some of them that would just have, like, there was one deck I can't think of the name of, but I got rid of it. It didn't have anything on it but the pentacles. Just five or
Huh.
however many pentacles, or just the swords, or just the. And I was like, no, no, I need a picture, to help me,
Yeah. Yeah.
remember here. And I do it
Mhm.
intuitively, but I still like to go by the meaning. As now, if I'm in the midst of a reading, a particular card comes up, and the traditional meaning that I at least got from this book here, if it's not, doesn't seem to mesh, I'm going to go with what I'm intuitively,
Same.
feeling and seeing and hearing.
Same.
There's a
Mhm.
guy on here too, Rambling Mike Terrell. I used to watch him a lot, and he
Is
used to
that the
do a
older white gentleman?
yeah, yeah.
I've
He
seen
used
him.
to do
I like
yeah.
him.
He used to have a little tarot, some videos about how to learn tarot. So some of the things that
Uh-huh.
the way he had a big book that he had, he would give a little. I don't know if it was in the book or if it was himself, but a title to each card. I wrote it all out, my tarot Bible. As long
Uh-huh.
as I've had this, I have not been through this whole book. But what I liked about that she
Hmm.
said, the author, was, even though these cards have their traditional meanings, you don't have to go by the traditional meaning. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You allow your intuition, to guide
Mhm.
you.
Let it
So
flow.
yeah. And you know what? At first, it was like, I did one time on my old channel when I first started. I did one video where I didn't use any cards. I said, I'm gonna try this out. And I did it, and I did it
Oh,
well.
did we get frozen there?
I actually, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? I just think I
Okay.
didn't feel confident about, because again, I was first starting.
You first
And I,
started.
I I
Mhm.
I might have even deleted the video. I don't remember, but I know I didn't do it anymore. I know, right? I know, because I thought about it. Just should have, just kept going. But even now, I'm finding the more, because like on the app, we're on the same one of the same apps, and
Mhm.
usually I just do straight psychic, reading with people. But the more I do tarot, I'm enjoying doing it more and more. I mean, I'll do my psychic thing first, the intuitive thing first, without
Mhm.
anything. And then it's a timing factor too. Like, I've
Yeah,
gone
it's
to a couple
hard
of,
with the app, especially
yeah,
the video ones, because you only have 3 minutes. So
right,
you gotta do so much. Well, for me anyway, I have to do so much prep before I record so I can get what I need to say
exactly,
out in the three
exactly,
minutes.
exactly. And
Yeah.
usually, like with that 1 hour thing that we have, when it's a
Oh yeah.
rush order, I just go on
Hmm.
there and just I'll be shuffling the cards and do my thing. I let them know if I need the cards, then I'll pull them. But more and
Hmm.
more, I'm after I do the intuitive thing, then I'll just go ahead and pull cards because I'm enjoying the cards more and more and more. You know what I'm
Well, that's
saying? Yeah.
exciting. That's exciting. We do have a question in the chat.
Okay.
Brock says, how much of reading is your intuition sensing and intuiting the world around you, and how much is a conversation with spirit that uses cards as a means of starting a conversation? It's a little bit of both. For me, it's going to depend really on the question and whatever the vibe is. Because if, let's say, I know I have a reading that's coming up, I prepare and I meditate and do some sort of prayer. And before I actually start or meet with you, either it's a recorded reading or it's, we do a Zoom reading if you come to me directly. But those little things you need to know, that's not necessarily what you asked me, is going to come through in that
Hmm.
prep work that I do prior to having the actual reading. And then if I need to pull the cards, I do. And if I sometimes we don't even get to the cards, like Kenyatta
Hmm.
was saying, like it just kind of flows, you just know after you've done it
Yeah.
for a while. But it takes some practice and working with yourself and knowing just what works and when to use them and when you don't need to.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a couple of questions here. They are would you rather. Now, do you do any type of like spiritual healing work or root work or any type of that on your own,
I,
or do you offer services for your clients?
I used to. I never have done any root work or anything like that. I've done some healing work. Usually long distance.
Okay.
Um, just by nature of you know social media and whatnot. Like when I first started out, when I had my old channel, that was a service that I offered,
Okay.
healing work, and I just kind of stumbled on it. Wasn't sure if I could do it. A friend of mine, she was having some issues with her head, you know,
Mm,
and I asked her. I said, "You mind if?" Because she kept complaining about it. She was a psychic as well, and would you mind if I tried to do some healing long distance? She said no. So, I just went in and I did it. And she got back to me. I said, how do you feel? And she said, oh my God, I told her what I saw. And I,
okay.
I can't remember the specifics, but it was something I saw in the exact location and I removed it, you know. And she
Oh.
said, I remember feeling something, you know, um, around that area, like at the time that I was doing the work. And she said,
Hmm.
she felt much better, and I said, oh, maybe I can do this, long distance. So then I started
Okay.
offering it. I only did it a few times, Currently,
Mhm.
I have it I don't have a website or anything. I just put up my services in my description box below, on
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
But I don't do any root work. But I I have thought about it. It's one of those things like with tarot. It just seemed like so much to know and learn. Like that's how I felt
So
before
definitely
tarot.
learn as you go, and lots of practice,
Mhm.
lots of
Right.
practice. So like we mentioned before,
Let
guys. Yeah, what you say?
I'm sorry. I'm going to get my other charger
Okay.
because it's acting up right here. Okay, so let me get
Okay.
that real quick. I'm just going to,
Okay.
but I'm
Nope, you
still
do
here.
that. Nope, you good. You
Okay.
good. So welcome everybody that is over here hanging out with us. If you do have specific questions that you would like to ask a reader or a healer, put those in the comments. We will do our best to answer those. Now we're not doing any readings, but any things that you would like to know behind the scenes that you always wondered or you didn't know at all, we'll definitely address those. I'm considering doing a reading stream after this. We're gonna see how I feel when we um get offline here. Announcements, guys, all my members, your month of April, we're in April. Your month of April readings went out on Sunday. I emailed those to you. And if you are going to participate in the community prosperity ritual, and we are protecting not only our physical bodies, we're doing protecting our minds, our hearts, finances, or if there is a loved one that you would like to protect, you can add them to that working. You have until the 18th to sign up. Members got emails already, but the link is in the description as well as the community tab on YouTube. All right. And she's back. Okay. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So we was talking about the app. Do you prefer having your clients come through you through the apps? Because I know we were on two different platforms that we discussed. I'm on a bunch of them.
Okay.
Two or three are performing a little bit better than the others right now, and it varies
Yeah.
month to month. But do you prefer
Yeah.
direct clients, or do you prefer working with the platforms?
I mean, I like them both.
Mm.
I really enjoy working directly with clients.
No.
I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. Yeah, I like
You
it.
do. Okay. Yeah.
But I like them, both. Sometimes my only issue with the app is it's so short. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Unless they, go live, but it's
Right.
so short. It's so just quick, boom, like almost like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am type of a energy,
It really is. It really is.
you know. I like the
Yeah.
convenience of it, when you need, if you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? It's work. You're working.
Hmm.
I've had days where, man, one day I made $300 that day. I was like,
Dang.
oh my God, how this happened? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You
Yeah.
can never tell what it's going to
It's
be.
so hit and miss.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
super
I mean, I
random.
was tripping. I ain't had one of them days in a while. you know.
I had like 2 days back to back. Like my rush orders was like one
Mhm.
right after the other. I think I probably did like 20, 25 rush orders that day, and I usually only do about
Woo!
five.
Right,
So I'm like,
right. But
okay, this
isn't
is
it a trip though? Isn't it a trip
different.
how it could be one day you get rush orders, bam, 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 bam.
Hmm.
Maybe like the next day, a couple of days, it's just dead silent. Like what the hell? Like nothing.
What
Or like
happened
recently,
yesterday?
I know, right? Recently, what happened with me, which tripped me out, was the live voice. It was coming
Uh-huh.
back to back to back to. I was like, I had never had that with a live. I get
Dang.
a lot of live
Yeah.
chats, but I never got that with
I
the
get
voice.
mostly live chats because my rates are lower for the chats than the others. I really with the app, I'm kind of weary of talking to people, and I kind of like the video. I kind of reserve that for return customers because I kind of build a rapport with them because
Okay,
it's like my
right,
face is gonna say something. And I don't know how you gonna take it. So I was like, I probably shouldn't
right,
go on this
right,
video with strangers.
right, right. No poker face, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Not at all. Girl, yeah, it's a mess. And to stay on that topic, I think a lot of people may or may not, well, most probably don't know the amount of our rates and fees don't come to us. Like what you're paying when you're going to these websites,
Right.
y'all, and these apps, all of that is not coming to us. Hell, not even half of it is
Mhm.
coming to us. So I know
Thank
you're
you.
looking at,
Not
oh,
even
well,
half.
she's charging so much. Well, we have to make it worth us doing it. Because ain't nobody working for
Right.
free. Y'all know Lex always said it. I ain't working for free.
Can't work for
Child,
free.
it can't.
Can't work for
It's
free.
too much, especially when you're really passionate and you're really putting forth the energy into the readings because readings are draining, y'all. Readings are draining.
And
And if
that's
it's just
another thing.
somebody
Right.
who if people are just reading the cards for the meanings, then they can do a bunch of those all day. Like when we have those sales on that app, child, I
You
can't do that shit.
you see how
I can't
people
do
be
that.
doing
People,
like
they be doing like 100, 200
like a
rush
rush
orders.
hour.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
bitch,
how?
how? Yeah,
Would you be staying up all night?
got to.
How they do?
I-
But they do for that incentive, for that extra that they go, that
Child,
$500 they gonna give
it
folks. I'm
was
like,
one I
mm-mm.
started doggone calculating. I'm like, shit, this ain't worth it. I mean,
Exactly, it's not, and it's just
oof.
now that particular one is for the most part it's pretty steady. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
have some quiet
Agree.
days or whatever, but you know, I'm on two other ones too. I don't even get on those anymore. One of them I got on, and like within 3 days, I had made like 500. So I was like, oh
Mm.
yeah, it's on. After that it was dead. Well, I thought it was me. Well, come to find out, because I got one thing about the one that we're talking about. There's no forum. I wish there was a forum for advisors, but this other one
Mm-hmm.
had a forum for advisors, and they
Right.
were complaining, saying the same thing that newer people were, and they said, well, what they were doing was when new people got on, they would push them up to the top so that people could see them,
Mm-hmm.
and they would go to them, it kind of the mind trick here,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then
Like,
it was
oh, this
dead,
is gonna be good. I made the right choice. And then, like you said, a
right,
couple months down the road, it's like, hey,
right. What
is this
happened?
am
They
I
took
logged
you
in?
right, exactly. And
Am I
actually,
logged in?
a lot of that particular one, a lot of the advisors were saying that um, they used to just work on that period. They didn't have an outside job. That was their job. They were making a lot of money, and
Mm,
they said for some reason it just died.
that is
It just died.
that
Some
is
of them had
really
left and
sad.
came back. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They had made changes, and I guess some of the changes that they had made just in it wasn't to the benefit, of the advisors. And that's the
Yeah,
thing, is like, because one day I looked, I said,
it's hard.
you know how they update the app and everything. And after I
Mm-hmm.
did them lives, I said, you mean this it? You know, but I had to take the attitude of, well, it is better
I
than
didn't want
zero.
to
You
yeah,
understand?
I didn't want to increase the rates, but I had to. And it's like I felt so bad.
Mhm.
And then like with the one website, I had a customer, she was on both the app and that site. And so she even said,
Okay.
she was like, well, I see that you're a little cheaper over there. I said, I won't be for long because they're taking even
Right.
more out of my pay
They're taking even
over
more.
there. I said,
Yep.
so I said, it's actually going to be cheaper here today because I have to update it over there. I was like, I haven't been online today. I said, but it's going to go up because I have to make a certain amount. And in order for me to keep it
Right.
somewhat level, like I don't want to charge too much. That's why,
Right.
and we can't tell y'all to come to us directly, but I'm gonna tell y'all because I'm not telling you what platforms we're working for. It is more cost effective and it's more beneficial to you and your reader if you can go to them directly. If there's a
Yeah.
way for you to get to, and everybody doesn't have that. Some people they only work on wherever you found them. But if you can find a reader
Right.
you like, stick with them. Stick with them because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, my rates that I charge on those apps, my portion is the same as if you would have came to me yourself. You're just
Yeah.
paying more to
Yeah.
cover them,
Right. And
unfortunately.
like you said, we make less than now. Well, I'm not quite sure what it was, but what it is now, it's like we make less than half. They're giving us less than
Mm-hmm.
half,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow. I
Yeah, and
guess
it's
I
like
need to read through all that new stuff that's been just
it already wasn't that great, and it's like, dang, you took
right.
more.
Right. And that one app that I was on, that was one thing of a lot of advisors on that one were on that particular one that we're talking about. And what
Okay.
they were saying was this was before, they started taking out even more. They said the thing about that one, they said they loved it because it was pretty steady, for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
had stayed steady. Unlike that one where everybody it just died. However, they take more than a lot of the other
Others, the other
apps
sites,
do.
yeah, they do.
But it's one of the
Yes,
most
it is.
consistent apps
It
for,
is. Isn't
for
that a
work.
shame? That is such a shame.
Ain't that something?
It is a shame.
Right.
Like I wish y'all
That's
would come to
something.
me over here because my percentage is higher. and my fee is less.
And we can't,
Can't do that.
you better not get close to telling them about your YouTube, your
Oh,
nothing.
child.
You know,
I had
you
to
can forget
catch
it.
myself one time because I was recommending like a what was it? It was like it was one channel in particular. They have like meditations on there, and I was
Okay.
like,
Um,
trying not to say, oh well, I started to say, well, I have meditations, which I do, but it's like I can't tell you to go to
mhm.
mine. Go,
Right,
just go look for
right,
them. Just go search
right,
on YouTube.
right. I mean, I've even been. I had one person kept coming to me about, spiritual attacks and, spiritual warfare. She kept asking me question after question.
Father,
This was summer
Father
before
God.
last, like boom, 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 boom. They came to me one time, like, in other words, listen, honey, not on this app. And it is so that's what and I finally told her one day I can't talk to you about these things
I can't.
anymore.
I know
I
because
mean,
they
she was
won't
coming.
let you.
She
Yeah.
no, she had come at me at least 10, 12 times before they
Dang.
sent me the email like, no, I don't, we can't talk about that stuff. And that's my only thing about the app. I like it, the convenience of it is kind of even strengthened, the gifts and whatnot. Cause when you're working, and I'm gonna work with integrity. I'm not gonna lie to
Hmm.
you or anything, you know what I'm saying? I let people know I'm not gonna sugarcoat your reading, but
Hmm.
it
I'm
it's so
try to be
limiting.
as.
Sometimes
Yep. Yeah. What I was about to say.
sometimes
When they
it's just
don't want
mhm,
to hear it, and sometimes like I'll be sitting here, and I hate to do this, but sometimes I have to kind of skirt around everything that I'm seeing because
mhm,
it's like you didn't
mhm.
ask me that. And if I tell you what I saw, this is going to open up a whole nother can of worms that I'm not trying to have you in the messages attacking me and calling me all kind of names and liars because I saw what I said. Like, you know what? If they don't ask, I don't tell.
That's it, right, right, right. Sometimes for me, I'll say, well, I might ask them, I'm picking up something else. Do you mind? Do you want to hear it? Are you
Mm-hmm.
sure? I've had to tell some people, because some, you have those repeat uh clients, customers, which is great,
Mm-hmm.
Um, but sometimes it's like you sure you want to know, you know what I'm saying? You want to know what? Because when I first went public with readings, period, I had created
Yes.
a whole new Facebook, okay, under the name
Uh-huh.
Kenyatta, not my good government
Uh-huh.
name.
Right,
And I
right.
would do pendulum readings, on there. And I would always say, and I think I put it in on this channel in the description, be cognizant of what you ask. You understand what I'm saying? Be aware of
Mm-hmm.
what you are asking
Yes.
and be ready to receive. Some things it's just
Yes.
like
And
I've had
please
to
be
learn that for
realistic.
myself. You ain't got to know everything. Huh?
Be
Say that
real and
again.
be realistic with your questions.
Okay. You know what I love to do on there? I love to look at other readers, their description, right? Some people are so funny, and I'm like, okay, you can tell they've been doing this on here for a long time. Don't ask me this. Don't ask me this. With the big red crosses and the big
Yes,
warning
yes.
signs. Warning,
I do that
warning.
sometimes too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
y'all done
yeah.
pissed her off.
Y'all,
Going
we might be
off.
thinking about the same person,
It
right?
might
But it's been a
be.
few of them.
Woo,
Okay,
yes. Like I
I've
only
seen
do
people
this,
say
this, this.
if
Don't ask
you
me this, and this.
okay, or people who have like if I've seen them say if you concerned about a person, of interest, and they're married, don't ask me no questions. I'm not answering no questions. Oh yeah, I've seen some stuff like, especially when they get real long with they. I'm saying, oh, they've been on
Yes,
here a while.
yes.
They done
Oh,
pissed folks
I have
off.
a list on mine too. I have a list on mine
Mhm.
because what I can't stand is the general. Oh, I just want a general reading. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. Excuse me. No, you don't.
No,
No,
you're
you
right.
don't.
No, the fuck you don't.
Ask your question so you can not waste
Ask your
both our
question.
time.
Right. Right, exactly. I had one person, he kept coming to me for that. And I don't know what I said to him, but I probably was showed a little irritation. And of course, he
Mm-hmm.
gave me a bad review. It's like, I don't care. Please don't come back no more. Because you don't have no general, there's something specific you want to know,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm. All the
And
time.
then they
All the
get mad
time.
at you like if you don't pick up on it. It's like it could be a million different things. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying about my when I prep for my private clients, I get
Hmm.
certain downloads and certain messages that a lot of times have nothing to do with why they're coming to me. Because
Okay.
they'll ask me the question
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll meditate on what is it they need to know as it relates to this and any other messages. And most of the other messages has nothing to do with what
Have
they
nothing
came
to
there
do
for,
with
but
it.
they still need it. And it's like you
Right.
thought you wanted this, but you really need to hear this. And I
Right.
still
And
answer
I
the
feel like
question,
people,
but
right, right.
it's
I feel
hard.
like people who come to you personally, are
Uh-huh.
more open. You know what I'm saying? To because they've chosen you specific. I mean, it's kind of hard to choose somebody on the app. I would think. I've gone to a couple people, on
You would
there.
think like, did
And
you?
it's
Some
like
people, I'll be like, did you read my profile at all?
they
There's
don't.
no way you read
They don't.
anything.
I don't know. I don't know how they choose. They don't. you know. But like I feel like when people come to you personally, for a reading off the app, they're going to be more open to the type of things that you may pick up on that they didn't ask. You get what I'm saying? It's more personable,
No,
I
I
feel.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand. And that's what Shady Divine says. Sometimes I want to know what I need to know. Yeah. Because what's the saying? You may think you want one thing, and that's is something out there better for you. You probably selling yourself short, but you're not open
Yeah.
to it. Mm-hmm. What other question I had on here? Because some of these things we already hit without me even asking them. Um, as far as clients, do you have a preference as it relates to like a male client versus a female client?
I don't.
Like, do you
Mm-mm.
have like
I've
trouble
only had
out
like,
of one more than the other?
let me,
Gotta think about that one. I will say this
no,
for my
mm,
readings. I think my every now and then I get a couple of males who are a little out there. Uh, but when it comes to
like
like
how, what do you
certain
mean when you say that?
um there's two in particular that I'm
Like
thinking of
how,
right
what's your
now.
name when you say
And both of these
that? Wait a minute.
guys were very arrogant. They were very like almost like you work for me. Like I had one guy, I had to tell him, like, do not come back to me and ask me about this lady no more. Because
Mm,
I told him
yeah.
exactly what he needed to do. I said, dude, I'm giving you information because I actually wanted them to get back together. I'm like, she still love you. She want to come back, but she ain't gonna come back to you and you doing the same stuff that ran her off. And it was like
Right.
months had went by, and I told him, like, listen, you don't want my advice. You're wanting to spy on her, and I'm not going to do that for you. You're no longer
Mm,
doing it to get her
mm,
back because your problem is you think it's another man, and it's not. It's you, and you're trying to do to me the
right.
same thing that you did to her. Because he was like, well,
Right.
I'm paying you to
Wow.
do this for me. I said, take your money somewhere else. I told you not to ask me
That's
no
right.
more. Like,
That's
no,
right.
I don't need money that damn bad. And no, I'm not gonna help you spy
Right.
on that lady. And then I
Right. I
have
mean, mhm.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
Finish.
yeah, so it's like another guy kind of similar to that, but usually the males that come for readings are pretty open. The females get
Hmm.
a little more emotional, way more emotional about it, and it comes into a conversation in the message portion. It's like I'm still available to chat if you want to come back in into the chat because we're not gonna continue your reading here. But when it comes to more like a working or a healing session, I feel that the women are more open
Hmm.
to listen and follow instructions than the men are. Men are hard headed for
Mm.
some reason when it comes to
Okay.
like coaching and helping them outside of the reading. Like, okay, this is what came up in the reading. Now let's do this to fix it. I feel that the women are more
Right.
open to the fixing part than the men are.
Now, was this on the app?
Um,
You
a
mean
little bit
or
of
just
both.
in general?
Little bit of both. Now
Okay.
the one guy I'm telling you about, the spine on the lady, that was from the app, and I had to
Mhm.
get
Okay.
support involved on that. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've told him I can't do this. I
Yeah.
won't do it. Brock
There have
says, yes,
been,
we are.
I've had, what she say?
Brock
I
says,
missed
yes, we
it.
are. When I said men are hard headed,
Oh,
he said, yes,
oh.
we are.
I've,
Yeah.
I've had, I, I haven't had that many men in general, period, between
Okay.
the app and I have,
Okay.
I have one man that calls every blue moon and he just vents, he just vents.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I let him vent.
Just let him go.
You know what I'm saying? He asks
Just
one
let him go.
question, I answer him, and then he'll do live or chat, and and I'm just okay, and I have that on there. If you want to vent, you can just come vent, But
Hmm.
sometimes with women, what bothers me is I get the women, especially when it comes to men and relationships, man.
Mm,
Oh my
hmm.
god, oh my
Hmm.
god, and
It's like, look,
they will
baby, I
come
done been
over.
stupid before too. Like, I have been stupid before. I don't want you to go
And
through what
that's
I
the
went
thing, it's
through.
like, because I only have 3 minutes, I can't really, and it's like I don't want
Yeah.
anybody to say I didn't ask her for all that, all I asked, you know what I'm saying? But
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's
Uh-huh.
the same people over and over again, and I want to say, stop, stop. You know what I'm saying? This is not healthy. It's toxic. You can't do this to yourself. You have to love yourself more. You understand
Please.
what I'm saying? You have to believe in
I'll give
yourself.
some of them like,
There are
okay, I
other
need you
men
to
out
do this.
there.
I need you to do this self-love ritual. I need you to do this spiritual bath. I need you to do something.
Yes, yes.
Something,
And
please.
even with that, I try to be real careful because it's the app. Like, you need to take a spiritual bath. You might want to do some cord cutting. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful
Mm-hmm.
on the app. That's my only thing
Mm-hmm.
about it. It's so limiting. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's
But
very frustrating.
I've met so many people. You said what?
I said it's so frustrating because it's like, I know what you should do, but I can't tell you on here.
Yeah, right,
Yeah. But you
right.
said you met a lot of people on the
And
app.
that's what I do like about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
do, even though it's an app, you still kind of form a relationship. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, especially the
With them. And I
repeats.
like
I
that.
have one. She just
Yeah.
she found me maybe 2 weeks ago, and I've already done like 4 readings for her in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
She's like, "You're my new favorite." I'm like, "Keep them coming as long as you being open to what I gotta say. We good."
Right. Right.
Keep the
I've had
questions coming.
people come 4 times in one day. Bam,
Wow.
bam, bam.
I've only had that happen every now and then. I had one do that last week on the
Okay.
other site, and God
Okay.
love her. I had to tell
Uh,
her to go take a nap. I was like, please go take a nap and take your mind off of this.
okay. You know what? I have one. She's young. She's so sweet. She's actually paid to just have a conversation. She's a rush hour. I just wanted to talk to you and tell
Oh,
you.
that's so
Those are kind
sweet.
of things. It's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things
Hmm.
I like that. I like
Yeah, I
that.
like
Yeah.
those.
And I wish I could tell her, hey, here's my information.
Yes,
You can come to me. But it's like you can't.
I
And it's
know.
like I may never see her be on this app, you know. So,
This is sad. Now, speaking of that, this is my last question. And it's, if you
okay.
had the opportunity to do this like full time and was able to sustain a living, would you do it? Would you leave your regular job to do this?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I would.
Same. In a
That's
heartbeat.
that's what I wanted to do. You said you would
In a heartbeat.
in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yep. In a heartbeat. I sure would.
That was a dream of mine even before I was reading tarot. It's like I want to do that kind of work full time.
Hmm.
What kind of work do you do, Lex? Outside of this.
Girl, Let's did some of everything. So so right now I left a situation that was just like a part-time like customer service, but it was a company that has a corporation with three small companies under it, and one of the smaller
Mm-hmm.
companies sells vitamin supplements, and I actually drop ship those supplements through my shop. So that's how I ended up
Okay.
doing the customer service for the other. And I got there and thought it was a place that I could stay for a while and could grow, and I was wrong. It was only meant to be
Okay.
a short term thing, and that happens sometimes. Like, you want things to,
Yeah.
like relationships, you want them to last, and they're only meant to be there for a temporary time. So now I'm looking to go back into the insurance world. I have some legal background. I was a paralegal for about 10
Okay.
years, and then I left
Okay.
that to work for a big insurance company, and I liked it to an extent and would have stayed there, but they um, partnered with like a third party. So it's like a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing the same job, but I wasn't employed by the same company anymore. I was employed by this contractor. And girl, they came in there, they sent a whole department's worth of jobs to India. And so I'm like, well, I ain't staying
Oh
here for this because you ain't
wow.
finna do this shit to me.
Right.
So that's how I
I
end up
know that's right.
finding that's how I end up finding the other place. So I'm looking to get back
Right.
kind of into insurance with a different company, but more on like a
Okay.
claims examiner, claims adjuster type of
Okay.
thing. So we'll see how that
Okay.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would much
But
rather do this because
oh
that's
yeah.
just, I already know that's going to be, it's going to be numbers driven, it's going to be high volume. If you do get a
Mm-hmm.
raise, it's going to be a little bit for your
Right.
annual review.
Yeah.
And I, I kind of like it, but I don't,
Mm-hmm.
because once you get into a job like that, they tell you there's so much opportunity for you to move up, and it ain't unless you friends with the right person, and then it becomes dead end where it shouldn't be dead end.
Everything. Right. Everything. That's like,
Hmm.
now I'm in a district that I'm a permanent building sub, which is good. And
Good,
it's one of the higher paid because we don't make no money for real. You know what I'm saying? But one of the highest
right,
paid.
good,
And it's the same thing. I like it, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I've worked with Kay all the way. I mean, when I did it, this was just like, oh, I had a at home job. It was ridiculous and terrible. I was like, I let them fire me because I was like, I'm gonna go get my unemployment. They was like, bring yourself to the office. I was like, why?
I'm not coming all the way over
Oh
there
no,
for
she
that.
told me
Tell
to.
me, yeah,
Right, right. No, she told me
I
to
don't sit
log off
out.
for the day. I said, no, no, I'm not. I've logged in for work today. Why do you want me to? So she finally said, we let me go. Thank you. But so
Hmm.
that's how, lady, I had locks. My daughter had locks, or did I have them? I think she had them, sister locks.
Okay,
So the lady who did her sister locks had told me about something. Oh, you can do that, and I got that, right away. And it was just supposed to
good.
be just for just a period, just a short period of time, and I've been doing it ever since.
Hmm.
And I worked from K all the way through 12th grade, and I love,
Okay,
love, love children. I love, yeah,
that's so
you know
sweet.
what I'm saying? We love each other. We fight with each other. We just, love each other and fight and love,
Love
and
and
fight.
fight, love and fight.
Right. And it's so
Yes.
funny. It's like the toughest ones that you like this with. You see them outside of the building at a store. Miss Love,
Mhm.
I get the biggest
Like,
hugs, and
you
everything.
had me at happy hour today. Don't be coming over here hugging on me like like you didn't
Okay,
just run my
okay.
pressure up today.
Okay, I had to look over my shoulder when I walked out the door the other day, because of you. But so it's like I love to watch them grow. Like, we just had our
That's
spring break.
awesome.
So I was working in
Okay.
kindergarten yesterday. One of the little boys, he's come a long way. He's the sweetest little boy. He's come a long way. And I was like, oh, he looked like he grew about a half inch, in that little bit of time. So I love watching them
Hmm.
grow, and I love all of that. But it's just something about being able to do what you love, love, love doing, you
Yes, it
know,
is.
because I love reading tarot. I love doing the spiritual work. I love it. I have
Hmm.
not. I would do spiritual counseling sometimes. Sometimes
Okay.
that's very challenging. You know,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
kind of stopped for a while. I gotta like, I haven't taken the time to revamp. I want to continue to do it, but I just have to revamp how to do that and to when you do it, well, I guess any kind of work, but the spiritual work, you have to create
Right.
boundaries. And that's something
Absolutely.
I had to, really had to learn
Absolutely.
how to
And you
do,
have to listen
you
to
know.
your body and yourself as well and take care of you because it can be
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming.
It can,
Some
it can.
customers and some
Now,
sessions can be way more challenging.
yeah. And that app,
Hmm.
they say that they have people on there making 10,000 a month. I'm like, well, they must have been on here for years,
Like how? Yeah.
years.
I don't know. And honestly, I don't know if
You
I
haven't
want to
got
talk
their
to that many.
email?
I don't know if I want to talk to that many damn people in a day.
I'm like, they get up and be on there all day, all night long.
All
Them
day,
be
all
them
night.
ones. Okay, they fifteen
Shoot.
ninety nine for a live whatever. You know what I'm saying? Fifteen ninety
Mm-hmm.
nine a minute, and they have
Mm-hmm.
people willing to pay 15.99, meaning they've
Yep.
had to been on there for quite a while,
Yeah,
to do
they have
that.
to be.
You know.
I saw some of that. I'm
Mm,
like, who is actually paying? But you know what? When I raised mine up, I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to get anybody because they'd be like, oh, she went up. But I
yeah,
actually had more people, especially for the voice calls. I had more people contact me for voice calls after I raised it
I did
than it
too.
was before.
I did
Isn't that
too. Yeah,
crazy?
it is. That app is strange. I did too because I raised mine, but then I can't remember. I think I needed something quick. You know what I'm saying? And with the live, you can get you more, generate more. So I went down, and I don't think, or it was a sale or something. I went down, and I didn't go back up. But
Mm-hmm.
I might. You know, I'm splitting
I
myself so
understand.
many different areas. But yeah, I
I
would love to do
understand.
it full time.
I would
Do
too,
you
but
think that's
honey, these
something that you're gonna work towards?
I'm working on it now. I launched my business
Okay.
back in 2019. And this is when I
Okay.
was at the other insurance company. And I prayed and I said, God, give me a year to build my clientele up enough so I can leave that place because I saw the changes. Like I know I'm not going to be here much longer. I need to be able to have something when I leave. And so I was
Right.
actually able to leave that place in 11 months. And I solely
Okay.
just, did the readings on the app and my own clients. And I did that for over 2 years before I got the part-time
Oh,
gig.
excellent.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I would love to
Okay.
get back to that space where I don't have to go into
Right.
work, and it helped me as well because my son's in school still, so I like to be
Hmm.
available. Um, so that's
Yeah.
that's the double-edged sword with me going back into insurance because I know it's going to be very high demand, and they do not care
Yeah.
about what family stuff you got going on. They want you there
Right.
when your
Okay.
schedule is, and they're not going to work with you with schedule. So it's like,
Oh,
I know I
wow.
can make
Wow.
money in this and I know I can build a
Hmm.
career in it, but do I want to? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm
Oh,
so,
oh, trust. I have
I'm
those
so,
battles.
so
I
torn.
mean,
Like, do I want
I
a
have those.
traditional
Yep.
career? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't
I have
looking
those
like
battles.
that's happening for me.
Right. 'Cause, I mean, I've considered going into teaching. It's like, well, I don't look like I can
You've been
escape
doing it.
this,
Yeah.
but then the drawback is the amount, and where I'm at is one of the highest paid in not the district, the area. Northeast Ohio is one of the highest paid in the
Okay.
nation. I found out,
Wow.
and I was
Okay.
like, damn, they don't pay teachers. I mean, they pay them
They
pretty
don't.
decent here, but other places I've heard how I'm like, I can't believe how low the pay is. But in this area, it's not that bad. But
Okay.
the amount of work they give teachers, because I've had some long term stuff. It is
Mm-hmm.
insane.
It
It is
is.
insane.
It
And
really
it's
is.
like, you know, it's just, there are things I have to think about. And it's like, if you do that, I'm putting it all here. If you do that, it takes
Mm-hmm.
away from this. because you're not.
Yeah.
It ain't that like back in the day. You're in the classroom, grade couple paper classroom. You know what I'm saying? You're in the classroom. You got meeting after meeting after meeting. You got to do this. Got to do this. Got to talk with
Mm-hmm.
parents. Got to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
like
right.
endless. It takes
That's
away
right.
from. You know what I'm saying? But it's
I know that I was
a
thinking about that as
career,
well. It's like,
steady.
if I'm working all day, and that's kind of what happened with the other. I don't feel like doing this when I get off, or
Right.
my
No,
son
you
has
don't.
something, and then I don't have time to do this because
Okay. Right.
I've been gone all day.
Right.
So yeah,
Right. You
it's
want to go home and relax.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Relax your mind. And like you said, you have your son. I mean, it's just me. My daughter's away in school, but still,
yeah,
I'm you know,
yeah, unwind for a little bit from the day.
right.
Yeah,
And by the time I
nope.
unwind, I don't even feel like doing a YouTube video, putting one, you know. It's like,
That
okay.
is so true. And I'm so like upset with myself because it's like I was complaining about that, like, dang, I haven't been keeping up with my channel and I haven't been doing this. And now I've had the time to do it. But my work, not my sleep pattern's been so off. Like I'm staying
Mm,
up to like 3, 4 in the morning, getting up at like
mm,
10, 11. And it's like, okay,
mm,
let me kind of get my mind together.
right,
Maybe eat some lunch
right.
or something. And then I have been available for readings most days now since I haven't been working the other place. I have been available
Okay,
pretty much all day and most of the night. It just depends
okay,
on what's going on. But
okay.
girl, it's rough.
And then YouTube got whatever it got going on. My first channel, I did get myself to a place where I got monetized, but I think I made like a total I got the $300, which that was a little
Yeah,
supplemental.
YouTube is so funny at then it's like, okay, what is up with the algorithm this month? Like once it starts
Okay.
hitting, and that's what happened with this one. I've had this channel for years and it was
Hmm.
started out kind of slow, and I was only doing at that time videos by like the elements. So I'll do all the water signs, all the earth signs, and etc.
Okay.
together. And then so I was looking at other channels. I'm like, dang, all the signs, that's 12 damn videos. Like in my mind, I'm like, do I want to do 12 videos? So I tried it and it
Hmm.
actually it caught on. And that's when the channel
Yeah.
started picking up and the views picked up. But then it just stopped like after
Well, we had
about
talked about,
5 months.
remember the
Yeah.
Instagram? We talked
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
I filled out that thing, and that's when mine seemed like stop, whatever that
That's a damn
was,
shame. That is a darn
you know.
shame. They do it on purpose.
So it
So they don't
right.
have to
I was like,
pay.
what?
And then
So it's
I
become
heard
more of
some of
a
the larger channels, like they've been complaining even that
I,
either the videos are not being monetized or they're restricting them and putting all kinds of
right.
penalties and stuff on them. I'm like, y'all not gonna have any creators left.
I
So
don't know. And I mean, I'm hearing about other platforms, but I don't know. I mean, it's become a well. When I initially got on, I didn't even think about that monetization.
me
You
neither.
know,
I
I
I
just
I
want to
use this as
be
this is advertising to me. It's like I have my own
okay.
website, so it's like if you find me on YouTube,
Mhm.
I think that's a good way to know like whether or not I would be the right reader for you because you know my reading style, you know, like kind of my temperament, and it just kind of helps people who
Mhm.
never met me before to see the
Right.
videos.
Okay.
And so I use the social
Right.
medias, but it's a lot to keep up with because I have Facebook and TikTok and the Instagram, and I'm just
Listen, I
like
tried to do all that. I'm like,
recycling.
I can't do it.
I have to, yeah, it's to the point now I have to recycle the content because it's like this is too much. I can't keep
It's
creating
too much. It's too
new
much.
for each
Right. And
one. Yeah.
right. I would do when I started, I did Facebook mainly, had YouTube. I would post my YouTube videos on my
Hmm.
Facebook or whatever. And
Hmm.
then later, much later on, I tried TikTok, I think twice. And I said, you know what? I'm just from a different time. You know what I'm saying? I'm
TikTok
from
is
a different
helpful
time.
now
I used
because the other
to,
platforms they created like their version of the TikTok videos. So everybody's like YouTube's got the
Mhm.
shorts and It's the reels
Right.
on Instagram and Facebook. So if I create a TikTok, it's in the same format for a short or a reel. So it's like, okay, we can just
Right.
post this on the
Right.
others.
And that's what I kept telling myself. All you gotta do is press the button, load it, and I was like, but it was just too. I'm like, it's too much for me
It
to.
is
I'm
it
not,
is a lot to remember. And TikTok gets
and to
finicky
keep up
too.
with.
Yeah, it gets
Oh,
finicky on
really?
TikTok. Yeah, because like if I don't post for a
Okay.
while, I can get like almost 2,000 views on a like a short reading. Like I'll do like the full
Hmm.
video on here and then clip it and put it on the
Hmm.
other ones to make the 1 minute videos. And
Hmm.
like the next day I'll post like a different sign and it'll get about 600-700 views. And then like if I keep posting every day, it'll stay either the same and then it like completely drop one day. Like I had posts like for 3 or 4 days and it was like
Hmm.
700-800 views and then it was just 50
Hmm.
views. I'm like, okay, well, I'm posting
Yeah.
too much. Apparently TikTok don't like me no more, so let me wait a
Oh,
couple of days and then I can come back
right.
and post
Right.
again.
I had that happen to me, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
And it's
I
like
was
I
just,
thought
I
I
just
had it
deleted it.
figured
I was
out.
like,
Like if I
whatever.
like yeah, and I had to post at a certain time because I got
Hmm.
two TikToks and I have two YouTube. So one is just for Scorpios, and then I got my prophetic Lex,
Okay.
everything else. And so for the prophetic Lex TikTok, I have to post about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And for the other one, I have to wait till about 10 at night. And by 10 at night, I done forgot to damn post on the other one because
Right.
it's been
Right.
hours.
I thought about that. I thought about saying maybe I'll do another channel that'll be just collective readings, and on this one I'll do my 12 sign. And I said every Saturday I'll do a collective. I said, girl, you know what you're gonna do. It's gonna be one Saturday go by. Okay, I'll do a Sunday. That Sunday gonna
Uh,
go by. Well, 3 weeks gonna go.
I'll just wait till the
3 weeks
next
gonna go by.
Saturday.
Right, right. Have you done any fairs, like any psychic fairs or anything like that in your area?
I thought about doing one. I
Okay.
forgot what happened there. It was something with the way it was set up, because it was either you can register as a reader or register as a vendor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, what if I do both? Because I do have a store, and it was like an
Mm-hmm.
ungodly amount of registration money, and I'm like, never mind,
Okay.
not doing all
Right.
that. And then I didn't
Okay.
want to be out there with a bunch of readers because, again, what you pay to register, and you have to think about like how much people who come to
Mm-hmm.
these things, how much they'll be willing to pay. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
ain't worth it.
Okay.
And then you don't know who you gonna get.
I've done two.
You
Right.
done too. How did
I've
that
done
work out
two.
for you?
Mm.
Was it in your area?
You know, the first one was the where they do it every other month. So the first one they didn't do it in January because it was a snowstorm, so they did it in February. So it was slow
Okay.
because people weren't ready for that one. Then I
Okay.
went back in March and it was much more, picked up or
Okay.
whatever. But I just like being out and talking to people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
and again, I don't know how much they charge to go into the fair, but again, we don't get. Well, I found out that that particular one that I was doing would pay the lowest.
Okay.
We didn't have to pay for setup. Readers don't have to pay for setup or anything like
Oh,
that.
see, that was another
But
thing. I would have to set myself
mhm.
up. Like they'll only give you like a chair. They wouldn't give you a table or anything like this,
Oh
which I have a little
wow,
folding
okay,
table I could take, but then I'll have to take a second chair because where are these people going to sit while I'm reading for them? Like I don't want them standing up
right,
looking over me. So I'm like, okay, that
right, all
frustrating.
right,
So I was like,
right,
well, what
right.
if I do both, like as a like a vendor and a
Mm,
reader, because they'll provide the table for you if you were a vendor
okay,
that had actual products. So I was like, well, what if I did it that
right.
way? And it was like $600 or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it
Well,
was
that's
an
crazy.
ungodly amount. Yeah, it was a lot. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
no thanks.
I mean, like, what's the
No thanks.
likelihood of you don't know if you're gonna make that back? Plus, you don't want to just make that back. You want, you know what I'm
Exactly, exactly. Like
saying?
I don't want to be out here all day and then I break even if I even make it back.
Right,
So
right, exactly,
no
exactly.
thanks.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
despite all the obstacles, I love it, and just keep
Same.
on. I'm just gonna keep doing it because I
We
enjoy
got
it.
we have to build like a reader support group or
I
something. Like
know, I
it has to
know.
be it has to be something out there for us because
It's gotta
y'all
be.
don't,
That's
man,
why I
y'all don't
said
understand
the
what we
one
go
app.
through.
Okay, the one app that we're talking about, they need to have something for a forum for the advisors, so they can
I,
get on there. And 'cause the other one did, the one I was on, it did, and it was
mm-hmm,
very active, you know.
mm-hmm.
And I love being on that.
You
But
know what though?
that's the only reason I was
I
on it.
think the app has a Facebook group, but I request to join and I don't even think they ever added me to the group.
Oh, really? I didn't know it had a
Yeah.
Facebook group.
I didn't either. Another reader told me about it.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm not sure they may not be active. Yeah, it may not be active then.
Right, right. May
Who
not
knows?
be.
Mm-mm,
But you are
mm-mm.
so right. Readers need some respite. you know.
A safe space. Oh my
It's like
God.
you want to talk about certain thing, you can't go to your job. You know what I'm saying? And talk to
They're gonna look
them.
like, what is she talking about?
Right.
Like, you
And
know,
look
let's
at
do
you
that
funny, like,
witchcraft.
right. I was just about to say they're gonna be like, definitely. Next thing you know, they'll be watching you like, okay, you was a great person before you said you read tarot. You know, after that, they're watching you like a hawk. Okay, that definitely. That girl over there, that definitely girl.
Oh God, that's so funny.
Okay.
It's so true. Oh my God. Look, girl, I'm gonna get over off of here. We've been on here for over an hour,
Yeah,
but this has been
yeah,
pleasant. And
it
yes,
has.
Martine, readers need love too.
And we need
Yeah,
love too.
yes, we do. But this is so much fun. We'll have to do it
It
again. And
was.
if you
Yes.
have a topic you want to talk about, let me know. We could get it set up,
Okay.
honey. And those of
Okay.
y'all in the
I would
chat,
love
thank
to.
y'all for joining. And my people who participated in the chat, we appreciate the love and the support and your feedback. Um, I was thinking about doing a reading stream after I got done with this, but it ain't gonna happen because I done got tired. So maybe tomorrow night, y'all. But Miss Kenyatta, I did put your channel link in the
Okay.
chat. So if you
All
are
right. Thank
interested
you.
in seeing her videos and what she's all about, please scroll up in the chat from earlier. I think I could pin it. Okay, it's not gonna let me pin it. But let's
Okay.
see. There we go. That's not gonna help y'all.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get off of here. All right, let me try in here. Mm, yes. Oh, sorry, bro. Okay, so it is now pinned at the top
Thank
of
you.
the chat. So if you're interested in seeing her, you can go visit her over there. And check out the community tab, guys, because the link for the prosperity ritual is in there. And all my members, if you didn't catch it earlier, your readings went out in the email on this past Sunday. And the weekly premium members, you'll get your weekly hopefully on Sunday. I may get it done early. We're gonna see. We are gonna see. All right. That's all I got.
All right.
That's
Thank
all
you
I
so
got.
much for the invite.
Yes,
I really appreciate it.
yes, thank you
Yes, yes,
for
yes.
coming on and being so open and honest about your experience because it should have it needs to happen more often. The people need to know,
Yes.
and I feel
Yep.
that that would help raise awareness and gain a more higher respect level for the craft because
Mm.
people tend to take us for granted and
Yeah.
don't understand. They
I
not
got look,
understand what
I
we go
got two
through.
more topics already floating in my mind. Maybe we can do
Yep.
this once a month because I got two more
Uh-huh.
topics.
Uh-huh. Send me a message, girl.
I sure will. I
All right,
sure
y'all.
will.
All right. Love
All
y'all,
right. Thank you.
everybody.
Nice to
Talk
meet
to you later.
everybody. All right.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.